In the following lectures, we will study iterative methods to solve linear system of equations. So mainly we will study three iterative methods: Jacobi, Gauss-Seidel, and successive over relaxation techniques. And these iterative methods are just similar to fixed point iterations in one dimension. So I'll start with Jacobi and Gauss-Seidel techniques by taking one example. So let us consider a system of equations, a 3x3 system, and firstly we solve one equation for x1. You can solve any equation for any variable. So let us just start with first equation and solve for x1. So take everything in the right hand side. Solve second equation for x2 and third equation for x3. And usually we done in fixed point by writing x equal to g of x. So since these are iterative methods, so just start with initial guess, and this initial guess is denoted by x0 with three component x1, x2, x3 at 0 stage, that is initial values of three variable. And then we define iterative method as, so just put a label k plus 1 on left hand side on each, okay, as we did in all iterative technique. We write x k plus 1 equal to something xk. So put a label xk on right hand side. So k is just a label to denote successive iteration, and k running from 0, 1 to 3. So this method is called Jacobi, or method of simultaneous replacements, named after German mathematician Carl Gustav Jacob Jacobi. And this is quite old technique to solve iterative method. Since we are solving this system and we don't have any idea of initial guess, so you can start with anything. So just start with, so take initial guess x0 as 0, 0. Okay, so initially x1 is 0, x2 is 0, and x3 is also 0. So from first equation, so just fit x2, x3, 0. So you got x1 110 by 9. Then from second equation, x1, x3, 0. Then you got x2, first label, 19 by 10. This is 1.9. Similarly, from third equation, x1, x2, 0, and you got x3, 1. This is 1. This is 0. 0 by 11. So this is 0. So this first set of solution, which is usually denoted by x1, okay. So first x1 1 is this, x2 1 is this, and x3 1 is this. And now repeat the procedure. Fit those values to get solution at second stage denoted by x2, etc. So in that way, by repeating the technique, you can solve the system. And another approach can be similar to previous one. So just solve first equation for x1, so write x1 k plus 1 equal to, put a label k on the right hand side, same as we did previously. But in second equation, just fit updated x1 here. Okay, so new x1 k plus 1, and x3 same old. And in third variable x3, just fit x1 new from this. Okay, so x1 k plus 1, x2 is also k plus 1 label, or in other words, so use the updated value immediately. And this procedure is called Gauss-Seidel, or method of successive replacements. So replace successive. It is named after the German mathematician Carl Friedrich Gauss and Philipp von Seidel. So as we did in previous technique, so just start with anything, or start with 0, 0. You got first solution, that will be similar to previous one. Then x2, to get x2, fit x1 new, this is 1.1 here, and x3 0. And to find x3, fit x1 new and x2 new here, and you got x3. And this is first step. So first solution is x1, which is also you can write in column vector. So okay, so first solution x1, second x2, and third x3. And repeat the procedure, you got second stage. So by repeating the procedure, you can find the solution by using these two iterative techniques. And application of both technique is quite similar. So in Jacobi, you just fix the stage and use same set of variables. But in Gauss-Seidel, we immediately replace with new one. Now I am writing general approach. So we will write this iterative procedure in matrix form, and then we will talk about its convergence. So you have a system Ax equal to b of order n. So I am writing this system in matrix form. So I am writing ith equation. Okay, ith. So ith equation will be, so first index is for row I and second is for column. So ai1 x1, ai2 x2, ai xi at diagonal, and so on, equal to b of I. So to write Jacobi iteration scheme, I am writing all terms, okay, except this one, in sum form. Okay, so sum j1 to n and j not equal to I. So aij xj, aii xi, so this is ith diagonal entry. So this is diagonal entry equal to b of I. So in that way you can write ith row and in sum form. So in all iterative methods, so we solve first equation for x1, second for x2, and so on. So in general we solve ith equation for xi, provided this coefficient of ith is non-zero. So just solve this equation. Okay, so for xi, so take everything on right hand side, or you can keep this aii here, so that does not affect. So aii xi equal to this. So solve ith equation for xi. Now we write iterative scheme. So put a label k plus 1 in left hand side, and right hand side put a label k. That we do in any iterative technique. So Now we write this iterative scheme in matrix form. So this is general formula. Just we write it in matrix form now. So to write matrix form, we keep aii on left hand side. So aii xi k plus 1, and then right hand side, and then bi. So now I am writing everything in matrix form. So you are keeping diagonal entries of matrix on left hand side aii. So first equation will be a11 x1, second equation will be a22 x2, and so on. So you are keeping diagonal part with xk plus 1 on left hand side and moving right hand side everything except diagonal. So we are moving lower part of matrix below diagonal and upper part of matrix, that is above diagonal, in right hand side and with negative sign. So I am writing minus L plus U for this lower and upper part multiplied by xk plus b. B is a column vector. So I am writing everything in matrix form. So left hand side multiplied by matrix multiplied by xk plus 1. So this is also a vector. Okay, equal to minus. Okay, so this is L plus U matrix multiply by xk, this is also a column vector, plus b, this is also a column vector. So what are d? So d is the diagonal part of matrix A. What is L? Lower part of matrix A, and U is upper part of matrix A. So I'll take a quick example. So let us take this 3 by 3 matrix. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so what is D? D is matrix diagonal. So what is D matrix? On diagonal you got 1, other entries are 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 5, 0. Okay, so 0, 0 and 9 diagonal entry. Okay, so what is L? So these are all 3 by 3 matrices. So what is L? L is upper, so lower. So L consists these entries. So 4, 7, 8. Okay, lower, and all other entries are 0. So these 3 entry. Okay, and what is U? So that will have 2, 3, 6 upper part, and other entries are 0. So if you add 3, L, D and U, you got A. So A is lower part below diagonal, D diagonal part of matrix, and U upper part of matrix, and B is column vector, that is right hand side of the system. So if D inverse exists, so I am solving for xk plus 1. So pre-multiply with D inverse. Okay, so pre-multiply with everything, you got xk plus 1, and I am writing a notation for this. So with xk minus D inverse L plus U, this is called iteration matrix. Okay, so xk plus 1 equal to tj xk plus some constant, that constant is D inverse B denoted by B. So finally you have xk plus 1 equal to tj xk plus B, and this is the matrix form of Jacobi method, and tj is called iteration matrix, and you have to memorize the formula of tj. So what is tj? tj is minus D inverse L plus U. And in the same fashion we write Gauss-Seidel, but in Gauss-Seidel we we solve in the same manner, but to find xi we use updated value immediately. So I am splitting this sum in two parts. So before I, that is up to I minus 1, aij xj, then ith value, and after diagonal, that is I plus 1 to n. Okay. So before diagonal, these entry will be new, okay, immediate, and these entry will be old. So I am writing the sum in two parts. Before diagonal up to I minus 1, and after diagonal I plus 1 to n. And solve for xi. Okay. So take everything on right hand side, add in b, and put a label k plus 1 on left hand side. Also here label k plus 1, because when you compute xi and other variable 1 to I minus 1 will be known before xi. So we will use them immediately. So put a label k plus 1, same stage. And after diagonal they are old ones, so put a label k. So this is the difference between Jacobi and Gauss-Seidel. So now I am writing it in matrix form. So to write matrix form, so as we did in Jacobi, so take aii here, okay. Also move this k plus 1 in left hand side. Okay, so entry with label k plus 1 on left hand side and entry with label k on right hand side with b. So what you got in left hand side, aii multiply by xi, so this is diagonal part of matrix, plus aij xj, and j running from 1 to I minus 1. So lower part up to I minus 1. So lower part of matrix, so d plus l will remain in left hand side with label k plus 1 updated, and with negative sign upper part aij, j running from I plus 1 to n will move to right hand side with label xk, and this b is the column vector b1 b2 up to bn. So and from here you got xk plus 1, so just multiply with d plus l inverse. So that will go in right hand side, d plus l inverse u with negative sign and d plus l inverse with b. And this matrix with xk is denoted by Tg. So what is Tg? Minus d plus l, this matrix, minus d plus l inverse u. And this is denoted by Tg. And what is b? b is d plus l inverse b. So this is the matrix form of Gauss-Seidel method with iteration matrix Tg and b, which is constant, d plus l inverse b. So in that way you can write any iterative method into matrix form, and this matrix form will be used further to analyze whether method will work or not. So, and also these are iterative techniques, so you can put an appropriate stopping criteria that can be in term of absolute error or in term of relative error. So if epsilon is given accuracy, so in term of relative error you can write, so just xk minus 1, so subtract two consecutive stages, so error will be also a vector. So if you have a 3 by 3 system, so error will be a column vector having 3 elements, okay. So then take norm of error, that will be the largest component in magnitude, and divide with updated value xk norm. So since you cannot divide a vector with a vector, so we just compute norm and divide the norm with a norm. You can use any norm, square norm, infinity norm, and infinite dimensional normed space that we are using in numerical analysis. All norms are equivalent, so you can use any norm. If any iterative method is convergent in infinity norm, then it will be convergent in square norm and vice versa. And if it is divergent or not converging in one norm, then it will not converge in another norm as well. So now I move to few examples. First is solved by Gauss-Seidel. Follow this system 3 by 3, and also we have stopping criteria now. So what is stopping criteria? Relative error is less than 0.001. So firstly I am solving first equation for x1, second for x2, third for x3. This is usually called fixed point form of system. Then put a label k plus 1 on left hand side. Okay. In first x2, x3 label k, then x1 will goes here, new label k plus 1, x3 old, and in third equation x1 will go here, new, x2 also new, k plus 1, and k is just a label. Now start with a random vector. Let us start with 0, 0, 0. So transpose denote that this is a column vector. So to save the space, I have written in row. So this is x1 value, x2 value, and x3 all are 0. So fit 0, 0 on right hand side. So this is the first approximation, and you can denote it by a column vector x1. So this is x1, first solution. So this is x1 1, this is x2 1, this is x3 1, first value. And now compute error. So x1 minus this is x0. Okay, x0. So x0 was 0. So x1 minus x0 will be same vector. Divide by x1, maximum now. So error is 1. Now write second iteration x2. Okay. Then compute x2 minus x1, divide by x2 in same norm, then error is this. In third stage, compute error x3 minus x2 upon x3, 0.29. In fourth stage, you got 1, 2, 3. Compute x4 minus x3 upon x4, that comes out 0.005, which is less than given accuracy 0.001. So we accept this. So x4 is a solution. What is solution? x1 1, x2 1, and x3 1. So you can check that this satisfy 1, 2, 3 satisfy the system. So 1, 2, 3 is a solution with the given accuracy. So now I just state convergence of iterative methods. So as you have seen that any iterative method can be written in this form, xk plus 1 equal to t xk plus b, and t can vary tj and tg for Jacobi and Gauss-Seidel. And this iterative method converges. This is necessary and sufficient condition that these iterative method converges for any initial guess if spectral radius of iteration matrix is strictly less than 1. This means largest eigenvalue. So what is spectral radius? This is largest eigenvalue of matrix T. So in other words, if largest eigenvalue of iteration matrix is strictly less than 1, then a method will converge. If method will converge, then converse is also true, so spectral radius will be less than 1. And if spectral radius is equal to 1 or greater than 1, then these method will not converge. So this is necessary and sufficient condition for convergence of any iterative method. You can find detailed proof of this theorem in my detailed lecture notes or in text of Burden, numerical analysis, Burden and phase. And one more condition for convergence that I skipped here. So which says that actually that result follows from this one. So if matrix A is strictly diagonally dominant, okay, strictly diagonally dominant, then any method will converge. So if matrix A is strictly diagonally dominant, then iterative method will converge. And this is not necessary. So if matrix A is not strictly diagonally dominant, then you cannot say anything. Method may converge, method may not converge. That depend on situation, or you can say that depend on problem. But we are sure that if matrix is strictly diagonally dominant, then method will converge for sure. And this is the question. So consider the system 3 by 3. Question is compute spectral radius of Tj for Jacobi, spectral radius of Tg for Gauss-Seidel, and comment. So first write coefficient matrix A. Okay, so what is A? So 2, 3, 1. Okay, this is the matrix A from coefficient. And you can check that this is not strictly diagonally dominant. Strictly means this A11, mod of A11, which is 2, it must be greater than mod of this entry and mod of this entry, so of diagonal entries in same row. So this is not greater than. And for second row, so diagonal entry which is 2, A22, this is 2, it should be greater than A21 plus A23 of diagonal 3 and 2. And for third equation, A33 which is 2, it should be greater than A31 plus A32, so these two entry 1 plus 2 modulus. So you can check that this matrix is not strictly diagonally dominant. Even this condition, if fails in one, so let us say fail in any 1 or 2 or 3, so we say that this is not strictly diagonally dominant. So we are not sure whether we can apply method or not by using that dominance result. But now we compute spectral radius. Okay, so and that says that if spectral radius is less than 1, then method will converge, and if spectral radius is greater than 1, then method will not converge. So we will be sure by this method. So I am writing D. Okay, so I am writing, so this is matrix A. So what is D? Diagonal part. Okay, so this is D. 2, 2, 2. Other entries are 0. So what is L? Lower part. So 3, 1, 2. Okay, 3, 1, 2 here. And U? Upper part. 3, 1, 2. Other entries are 0. And adding D plus L plus U, you got A. So first part of question, iteration matrix of Jacobi, that is minus D inverse L plus U. So compute D inverse. This is L plus U. Multiply both and take negative sign inside if you want. Now compute eigenvalue of Tj. Okay. So if lambda is an eigenvalue of Tj, then eigenvalues are computed from characteristics polynomial. So Tj minus lambda I determinant will be 0. So from this determinant, compute eigenvalues, and spectral radius is largest eigenvalue. So that is spectral radius is maximum mod of lambda. So first compute 3 eigenvalues. These are -2 and so on. And bigger one is first one, modulus of lambda. So 2.056, which is greater than 1. So you can comment here. So spectral radius is bigger than 1, so method will not work. So if you apply Jacobi method, you won't get any convergence. In the same fashion, we write iteration matrix of Gauss-Seidel, which has different formula, minus d plus L inverse u. So compute d plus L inverse multiplied by u, take negative sign inside. This is the final matrix, and compute its eigenvalue by solving characteristic polynomial Tg minus lambda I equal to 0. Okay, so just compute its eigenvalues, which are 0, 2.44, 0.307, and bigger one is 2.44, and that is also greater than 1. So you can say that Gauss-Seidel method will not work as spectral radius is bigger than 1. So finally you can conclude that both method will not work for this problem. And one more example in this same fashion. So check whether you can apply Gauss-Seidel or not. So show that method converge or not converge. So first write coefficient matrix. So this is A. Okay. From coefficient, so 1, 2, -2, etc. Then compute iteration matrix minus d plus L inverse u. So write d diagonal part of from A, L lower part and u upper part. Compute d plus L inverse. You can compute by calculating adjoint and then divide by determinant, or you can use calculator. So this is Tg minus d plus L inverse multiplied by u. So this is the final answer. Okay. So you need to compute eigenvalues by solving characteristic polynomial Tj minus lambda I. But one good thing is here, the final matrix is upper triangular. So non-zero entries are on diagonal or above side. So below you have zeros. So if matrix is an upper triangular or lower triangular, then diagonal entries are just eigenvalue. So what are eigenvalues of this matrix? Diagonal entry 0, 2, 2, 2. So eigenvalues are 0, 2, 2. Or you can compute by solving characteristic polynomial. Determinant Tj minus lambda I equal to 0. That will give you same thing. So 0, 2, 2. Okay. So same 0, 2, 2. So spectral radius is 2, which is bigger than 1. So method will not converge for this problem as well. So if you apply iterative technique, so you will get zigzag answers, and hence you won't get any convergence. So now we move to third method, SOR, which is known as successive over relaxation. So this is the modified version of Gauss-Seidel method, which usually provide faster answer than Gauss-Seidel. So this is just a modified version. So what we do here, so we multiply with a weight omega to error. So what I am writing xik plus 1 equal to xi. So forget this omega first. Xik plus 1 minus xik. So this will be error. So I am multiplying error with number omega. So now combine these two terms xik, so 1 minus omega xik, so omega times xik plus 1. So now I got xik plus 1 equal to omega times xik plus 1. So this is implicit relation in xik plus 1. So to proceed further, what we do? So we write left hand side as it is, 1 minus omega xik as it is, and omega this number. And this xik plus 1 is computed by Gauss-Seidel. Okay, so just compute right hand side xik plus 1 with Gauss-Seidel, and this is the modified version of Gauss-Seidel and known as SOR, successive over iteration technique. And what theory says that this omega is called relaxation parameter, and choice of this is not necessarily computation is not quite easy, and it depends upon the properties of coefficient matrix and computed from spectral radius. So this depends on matrix, and one theory says that if matrix is symmetric and positive definite and omega is from 0 to 2, then this method converges for any choice of initial approximation vector x0. And here are two techniques. If omega is from 0 to 1, they are known as under relaxation, and if omega is from 1 to 2, so these techniques are known as over relaxation. So if a matrix is symmetric, it is positive definite if and only if all of its leading principal So if a matrix A is symmetric and it is positive definite, if and only if its leading principal minus has a positive determinant. So just I am telling you the procedure how you apply. So if you want to check that method will converge, just show that matrix is symmetric and positive definite. And for example, you want to solve this system with A and B, and it says that omega is 1.25, and you can check that whether this work or not, and then solve the system by taking initial guess 0, 0. So firstly I am verifying that sufficient condition. Sufficient means that if A is symmetric and positive definite, then method will work. But if these conditions are not true, then we cannot say anything. Then you have to apply the method to check. So firstly I am checking that matrix A is symmetric and positive definite. So symmetric means A equal to A transpose, and positive definite means just start from first entry, determinant of 3 that is leading first, that should be positive. Then take first this one 2 by 2 matrix, determinant of this is 8, that is also positive. Then take 3 by 3, that is whole matrix. So determinant of A, which is 20, that is also positive. So if all principal leading minors have positive determinants, then that matrix is positive definite. So in other words, you can apply the SOR method, and that is usually not asked, so you can skip this part. So we just need to apply the method with omega equal to 1.25. So firstly write Gauss-Seidel iteration, okay, the same fashion. Solve first for x1, second for x2, third for x3. Put a label on right hand side, just write Gauss-Seidel, okay. Then in SOR multiply omega on right hand side, then add these factors 1 minus omega x1 in first, 1 minus omega x2 in second, 1 minus omega x3 in third. So multiply with omega, then addition of 1 minus omega xi. So this is SOR. So if you don't have these terms, so you don't have these terms, okay, omega is 1, so that is Gauss-Seidel. So start with 0, 0, okay, so first fit in first 0, x1 is 0, omega is 1.25, this is minus 1, 0, 0, this is first answer of x1. Then x2, so 1 minus omega, x2 is 0, omega, this is 7 plus, this is x1, so use x1 here immediately. Okay, then x3 is 0, divide by 3, 2.7 something. Then x3 1 minus omega, x3 0, so 1.25 minus 7 plus x1 1, this is x2 new here, divide by 3. So this is first answer, which is noted by x1. Similarly, you can compute second stage, x2 1.49, so this is x1 2, this is x2 2, this is x3 2. So this is second stage solution, and you can check this is third stage. So apply repeatedly, this is fourth stage, and you can check that. So first component you can check later. So first component converges to 1, second component converges to 2, so this is converges to 1, first, second to 2, and third to minus 2. So if you perform more iteration, you got your answer 1, 2, minus 2, and this is successive over relaxation method. So finally, SOR is a modified version of Gauss-Seidel with the relaxation parameter omega. Usually omega lies between 1 to 2, and this number is computed from coefficient matrix, and there is a procedure to compute, and famous and lengthy theorems are there in text. You can browse text by Burden and Fair to see the proof how we compute omega. But for the time being, for engineering perspective, you can think that omega is a given number for you, and just write the iterative technique for Gauss-Seidel. Okay, so multiply omega on right hand side, and then add 1 minus omega x1 in first, 1 minus omega x2 in second, 1 minus omega x3 in third, and start with 0, 0, 0 vector, and rest of the procedure is the same as we did in Jacobi and in Gauss-Seidel.